Okay, so today we are going to perform the lab task related to the for loop, and I believe that you guys have already studied for loop in your theory class. So again, for loop is just like a while loop or a do while loop, but it's only a bit different in its syntax. Syntax means that the way it is written. And as compared to while loop and do while loop, it is more easy to understand. And for loop is used more than any other loop. That is because it's easiness and smaller amount of code. If you are using a while loop, then definitely sometimes you do forget to, most of the time students forget to update the condition, update that loop variable. But in for loop, you have to do everything related to the loop inside the small braces. Inside these braces, you have to do everything. For example, when the loop starts, when it will finish, and how many steps it has to take. So whatever is that would be written inside these parentheses or small brackets. इसका मतलब ये है कि लूप के साथ जो भी रिलेटेड होगा वो इन्हीं दो पैरेंथेसिस में लिखना होगा, यानी कि लूप स्टार्ट कब होती है, खत्म कब होगी, उसकी क्या कंडीशन है कि कब कब तक चलेगी, कितने स्टेप्स में चलनी है। तो वो सारी बातें इसी एक पैरेंथेसिस के अंदर हम लिखते हैं। इस वजह से इसमें कंफ्यूजन कम होती है। इसी के अंदर हमें पता चल जाता है कि भाई इस लूप ने कितनी बार चलना है। तो इस वजह से फॉर लूप इज यूज्ड मोर देन एनी अदर लूप, and based on this condition this body will be executed. If this condition says, you have to understand from the condition whatever is written inside the parenthesis, that how many times the loop is going to run. Okay, so let's go to our first lab task. It says very easy lab task. It says that ask the user. Now you are going to ask the user for a series of numbers, and then you are going to output the sum of those numbers. But the first time you are going to ask the user that how many numbers they want to add. So first the user will enter the amount of numbers, and then you are going to ask the user that number of times enter the number, and along with entering the number the previous number would be added. इसका मतलब ये है कि जब आप यूजर से कहेंगे कि आपने कितने नंबर ऐड करवाने हैं, तो जब यूजर आपको कहेगा कि मैंने चलिए फर्ज करें 5 नंबर ऐड कराने हैं, तो वो उस नंबर की जरूरत क्यों पड़ेगी, क्योंकि उस नंबर की मतलब वो नंबर जितना है उतनी ही तादाद में आपने लूप को चलाना है। जैसे कि अगर यूजर ने कहा कि 5 नंबर्स मैंने ऐड करने हैं, तो आपने लूप को 5 बार चलाना है और 5 बार उससे 5 नंबर लेने हैं और उनको आपस में ऐड करना है। तो जो भी यूजर आपको नंबर देगा that will be your loop condition. The number which the user is giving would be the amount of time you are going to run the loop, and at the end you are going to give the user the summation of all the numbers, not the numbers that whatever numbers the user entered. Okay, so today I'm going to perform these labs on dev C++. This is the same thing. Programming is the same thing. You guys already know that how code blocks work and how dev C++ works. Okay, so look at the program. You declare three variables, some number value of type integer. Then you ask the the user that how many numbers they want to process. Now this is which I told you that if the user wants to add 5 numbers or 6 numbers, so whatever is the number the user will enter, and that will be stored in the variable number. Now why do we need the number? Because we need to run our loop equal to the number. तो ये यूजर आपको जो नंबर देगा उसके इक्वल आपने लूप चलानी है, क्योंकि अगर उसने कहा मुझे 5 नंबर ऐड करने हैं तो आपने उससे 5 बार नंबर लेना है, तो इसलिए हमें इसकी जरूरत पड़ रही है। नाउ यू आर गोइंग टू write a for loop. Now see, for int I is equal to 1. Here remember that int I, or in some places you will see only I, it is nothing but a variable for the loop. If you declare I here I, then there is no need to write int I here. But we haven't declared the loop variable outside, so here we are kind of declaring it as well. यहाँ पे ये डिक्लेयर भी हो रहा है और लूप में यूज भी हो रहा है. int I is equal to 1, I is less than or equal to number. So if the user has entered 5, then your loop is going to run 5 times. I plus plus, that means just hop one step. That means next time I will become 2, then 3, then 4 because of this condition. If you write I plus is equal to 2 or I is equal to I plus 2, that means hop 2 times. So the next time I will become 3. But here, by writing I plus plus, or in some places it's written plus plus I, it's the same thing, which means that increment it by 1. So the next time I will become 2, and it will keep on incrementing up till it becomes equal to this value. So you see, everything related to the loop is written here. Now this is the block of the for loop. Whatever is written here is going to repeat equal to the number. If this is 5, then from 1 to 5 this is going to repeat 5 times. And what is happening here, we are asking the user to enter the values to be processed. That means that the user will enter the numbers which he wants to add. Whatever number he enters would be stored in the variable value. And now we say sum is equal to sum plus value. Now the initial value by default in the variable sum is 0. So 0 plus value. Okay, it's the same thing as sum plus is equal to value. Okay, so 0 plus value would be, that means sum would have, let's say the user entered 5, so sum would have the value 5. Okay, now let's say in the next iteration when I becomes 2, the user enters 10. So now the new value here would be 10. Now what does it says here, sum is equal to sum plus value. So that means ऐड वैल्यू टू द ओल्ड वैल्यू ऑफ सम, यानी कि सम में जो पुराना पड़ा हुआ है उसके साथ नया ऐड कर दो. ये हमने किया था. तो सम में इस वक्त 5 पड़ा है. सो इफ द यूजर एंटर 10, then it says sum is equal to sum. So sum is already 5, then that means that we have to add 10 to it. Now it will be 15. Then in the next iteration, whatever the user enters will be again added to the 15, and so on. And at the end, we are just displaying the sum. Let's run it. Enter the number of values to be processed. Let's say I just want to add 4 numbers. Okay, so that means that now 4 is stored in number, and now the loop will run from I to 4 only 4 times. And see, okay, I enter 4, enter the value to be processed one time. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. See, the loop asked me 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and at the end it just displayed the sum, and it is equal to 10. Okay. Okay, let's go to lab task 2. I have already explained the lab task on the slides as well. Okay, lab task 2 is also easy. We say that write a program that calculates and prints the product of the odd integers from 1 to 15. Okay. Now remember, in product, there is one thing to remember, that whenever you're dealing with products in loops, you have to initialize the variable with 1. ठीक है, इसको आपने 1 से इनिशियलाइज करना है. क्यों, अभी देखते हैं. Now the odd numbers from 1 to 15, we know that 1 is an odd number, then 3 is an odd number, then 5, 7, 9, 11, and 15 with one hop. So we can easily run the loop from 1 to 15 but with 2 hops. You can also write it I plus is equal to 2, but the reason that I have write I is equal to I plus 2 is for the easiness. So that means that now I is equal to 1, it will go up till 15, but the next time I is not going to be 2. The next time it is going to be 3, because I have wrote it here that jump 2 times. इसका मतलब ये है कि ये 2 जंप मारेगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पे मैंने इसको कहा है. तो नेक्स्ट टाइम आई की वैल्यू 3 होगी, और उसके बाद 5 होगी और 7 होगी. आपकी मर्जी है कि जो भी आप यहाँ पे लिखते हैं तो ये उसी के मुताबिक हॉप करेगा. अगर i प्लस प्लस होता तो फिर सिर्फ ये 2 होता 3 होता, लेकिन अगर i प्लस 2 है तो अब ये 2 स्पेसेस आगे जाएगा. Now, and what should it do? From 1 up to 15 with a 2 hop, just product is equal to product into I. So we are actually multiplying all the odd numbers from 1 to 15. So that means the loop is also the counting as well as the loop is giving you the odd numbers as well. So when the loop variable I is 1, so this is the first odd integer. So what we are going to do is we are going to multiply that loop variable with the variable here product. The product into I, okay, 1 into 1. The next time it will become 3, so 3 into 1, it will be stored in product. And the next time it will become 5, so 5 into 3, 15. Now 15 is stored here, and then when I becomes 7, then 7 into 15 and so on. Now if I do not initialize product with 1, then the default value inside product will be 0. And we know that whatever is multiplied with 0 will become 0. So you have to remember this. If you do not initialize product with 1, it will be giving you 0. Okay, let's run this loop, and at the end we are just displaying the product. Okay, so this is the product from 1 to 15 of the odd integers. Okay, now just forget this step, and you would see that you are going to get a 0. The product is 0. Why? Because by default the value in 0 in product is 0, and if you do not write it, then it will keep on becoming 0 no matter how many iterations the loop is taking. अगर आपने इसको 1 नहीं किया तो इसमें 0 ही पड़ा रहेगा, और हर बार i के साथ मल्टीप्लाई होकर 0 होता जाएगा. तो इसलिए प्रोडक्ट में हमेशा आपने वेरिएबल को 1 करना है. Okay. Now let's go to our third lab task, and again it is the series lab task, the ones which we did in while loop and which were a bit difficult for the students. This is the last series, and I told you guys to look at it in during the Eid holidays, but it's okay. It's very easy. If you haven't looked at it, you would learn it now. If you look at the mathematical constant pi, the value of pi is 3.14, and it is calculated from this series. This is actually pi, but I don't know, it doesn't look so. It is calculated from this series. Now this series is infinite, and we cannot add infinite things in C++. So we have to set a certain limit. Now what happening here is that our loop should have the value 4. In the next iteration, it should add minus 4 by 3 to the previous value. In the next iteration, it should add plus 4 by 5, and then minus 4 by 7, and then 4 by 9. Now, if you look at the values, they're kind of easier because there's no factorial involved, nothing else. The numerator is a constant 4, and the denominator is kind of the odd value, which you can easily get it by starting from 1 and then hopping 2 times. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. But the only difficult thing here is the alternating minus and plus sign. See, minus plus minus plus. So this is the only difficult thing in this series. इसका मतलब है कि देखिए, लूप में पहली बार 4 होगा, दूसरी बार उसी 4 के साथ माइनस 4/3 ऐड होना चाहिए, तीसरे इटरेशन में उसके साथ 4/5 ऐड होना चाहिए. अब अगर आप देखें तो न्यूमरेटर की वैल्यू कांस्टेंट है 4, और डिनोमिनेटर की वैल्यू, अगर अब फर्ज करें यहाँ इसके नीचे 1 लिखा हुआ है तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, यानी कि 2 2 के साथ वो इंक्रीज हो रही है, तो वो भी इतना इशू नहीं है. इशू क्या है कि ये जो अल्टरनेट प्लस और माइनस साइन हो रहा है, ये इशू है कि ये हम कैसे करेंगे लूप में, विच इज ऑल्सो क्वाइट इजी. सो लेट्स लुक एट द लैब. ओके, ये भी मेरे ख्याल से टीचर ने करा दिया था. आयो मैंने, वी आर गोइंग टू यूज आयो मैंने फॉर अ वैल्यू कॉल्ड सेट प्रिसिजन, और वो बाद में करते हैं. ओके, सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी हैव अ वेरिएबल फ्लोट. व्हाई? बिकॉज We know that the value is of pi is actually uh, 3.14. So that's why we are declaring the variables that can have the point values. So float pi is a variable of type float, and we have initialized it with 0. If you do not initialize it with 0, it's okay. Then num, it's actually for the numerator. It's actually for this 4, which is the numerator. Okay. Then denominator is equal to 1. Why? Because if you see 4 by 1, then 4 by 3, then 4 by 5. So we just need to increment it twice. Okay. And accuracy is actually, it's actually 10. That means that we are only going to run uh, the loop 10 times, or by that means the series is only extended up to 10 values. That's it. Because we cannot do it infinitely. Now let's run the for loop starting from 1 up till accuracy with a hop of I plus plus. Now I told you guys that the only problem here is the plus and minus alternating sign. And what is the solution here? The solution here is that we are actually using the loop variable. The loop variable I is going to be helpful for us for the plus and minus alternating values. So let's see how. If you look at the series, it is pi is equal to pi plus numerator num by denominator. So pi is 0. You see 0 plus 4 by 1. That is easy. But the next time it is actually minus, and so on, then plus, then minus. So what we are going to do is that we have used an if condition here. And we are using the value of the loop variable I. We say I model if I modulus 2 is not equal to 0. Now whenever I is odd, this condition will be true, and whenever I is even, this condition will be false, and else will be executed. You know, modulus thing from the previous labs. So when I is 1, 1 is actually odd. So this is true. So this will be executed, else will not be executed. So when this is executed, you only have to, pi is equal to pi plus numerator by denominator. So what is the value of pi? 0 plus, what is numerator? 4 divided by denominator. The value of denominator is 1. Okay, that's it. And else won't be executed if is executed. So then the program will come here. Denominator is equal to denominator plus 2. Why? Because you see the denominator is increasing from 1 to 3, then 5, and so on with 2 hop. So now the denominator will be 3, and the loop will again start. Now I is going to be 2. You know, the loop variable increments to 2. And 2 is actually even number. So when 2 is an even number, this is false. Modulus 2 is actually equal to 0, so else will be executed for even. And when else is executed, it is just exactly like the previous one. The only difference is with the sign. So here you are going to say pi is equal to pi minus numerator by. Now this is the value of pi. This is stored in pi. So you are just going to write. So what is happening? It will minus numerator. So what is numerator? 4. And now what is the value of denominator? 3. Okay. Now when I becomes 3, 3 is again odd. This will run, and what will happen? This is pi plus numerator by d plus 4 divided by 5. In the next iteration, this will run, and then we will have minus 4 divided by 7. And if you compare this, 4 minus 4 by 3 plus 4 by 5 minus 4 by 7 plus 4 by 9, and so on. So the loop is actually helping us to make this series. अच्छा, मैं इसको एक बार उर्दू में बता देती हूँ. ये जो हमारा लूप का वेरिएबल है इंटीजर आई, ये हमें मदद देगा प्लस और माइनस अल्टरनेटिंग साइन के लिए. हमें पता है कि अगर एक वैल्यू 1 ऑड इंटीजर्स जो होते हैं उनका मॉडुलस 2 0 के बराबर नहीं होता, और इवन इंटीजर्स का जो मॉडुलस 2 है वो 0 के बराबर होता है। तो जब भी आई की वैल्यू ऑड होगी तो ऊपर वाली कंडीशन ट्रू होगी। वाई? बिकॉज इट सेज इफ आई मॉडुलस 2 इज नॉट इक्वल टू 0। तो ये ऑड इंटीजर्स के लिए है। और जब भी आई की वैल्यू इवन होगी तो ये वाली कंडीशन रन होगी। तो ये हम क्यों कर रहे हैं? सिर्फ और सिर्फ अल्टरनेटिंग प्लस माइनस साइन के लिए। देखिए यहाँ पे हो क्या रहा है, ऑड के लिए पाई प्लस नंबर बाय डिनोमिनेटर और इवन के लिए पाई माइनस नंबर बाय डिनोमिनेटर। तो सिर्फ अल्टरनेटिंग प्लस माइनस साइन की खातिर हमने ये इफ कंडीशन लगाई है। बाकी अगर आप देखें तो सिर्फ ऊपर का नंबर कांस्टेंट है न्यूमरेटर, और डिनोमिनेटर इज एक्चुअली इंक्रीजिंग बाय 2 होप, जो कि हमने यहाँ पे लिख दिया है कि हर बार डिनोमिनेटर को 2 से इंक्रीमेंट करें। तो इसमें सिर्फ और सिर्फ ये जो प्लस और माइनस है, ये इसके लिए ये इफ कंडीशन हमने लगाई है। तो अगर आप देखें तो जब आई की वैल्यू 1 होती है तो पहली वाली कंडीशन ट्रू होगी, यानी कि इफ ट्रू हो जाएगा, एल्स नहीं होगा। तो पाई की ऑलरेडी जो वैल्यू है 0 है, 0 प्लस न्यूमरेटर बाय डिनोमिनेटर, न्यूमरेटर की वैल्यू 4 है, 4 डिवाइडेड बाय 1, डिनोमिनेटर की वैल्यू 1 है। अब आई की वैल्यू एल्स हट जाएगा, क्योंकि एल्स तो तब होगा जब इफ नहीं ट्रू होगा। और फिर यहाँ पे क्या होगा, डिनोमिनेटर की वैल्यू 2 से इंक्रीमेंट हो जाएगी। अब डिनोमिनेटर की वैल्यू है 3। अब जब दोबारा आई की वैल्यू 2 हो जाएगी तो ये इफ कंडीशन नहीं चलेगी, क्योंकि 2 मॉडुलस 2 जो है वो 0 के बराबर है। तो एल्स रन होगा, और एल्स में क्या होगा, पाई माइनस वही चीज होगी, सिर्फ एक माइनस साइन की वजह से। तो ये जो 0 प्लस 4/1 है, ये पिछली वैल्यू पड़ी हुई थी पाई में। अब हम कह रहे उसी पिछली वैल्यू के साथ माइनस नंबर बाय डिनोमिनेटर ऐड कर दो। तो इस पिछली वैल्यू में माइनस, और न्यूमिनेटर क्या है 4, डिनोमिनेटर क्या है 3, क्योंकि इसको हमने 1 से 3 कर दिया था। सही है। तो इसके साथ 4/3 हो गया। अब जब लूप की वैल्यू 3 हो गई, आई की वैल्यू 3 हो गई, तो ये फिर ऑड है, तो फिर ये रन होगा। तो इसमें क्या होगा, इसमें अगेन सिर्फ प्लस होगा 4 बाय, और डिनोमिनेटर की वैल्यू 5 होगी, एंड इसी तरह चलता जाएगा। तो हम लोग असल में ये जो इफ कंडीशन लगा रहे हैं, ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ अल्टरनेटिंग प्लस माइनस साइन के लिए लगा रहे हैं। When the loop finishes and it runs 10 times, then we are going to display the value of pi. Now set precision here is a built-in function, and when you write it set precision here, it is present in the library iomanip. If you do not write iomanip here, then the compiler will not understand what is set precision, and it will give you an error. So you would see what is set precision here. So now the value of pi here is 3.0418. Now if you count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Now if I write the value of set precision 3, then you will only get up to 3 decimals. Total 3 digits. See, 1, 2, 3. So set precision is here for the amount of precision given. If you remember your FEC, there your precision is the more the precision, the more is the numbers after the decimal. ये असल में और कुछ नहीं है, बस वो डेसिमल के लिए है। Now if you see, the value of pi is actually 3.14, so you can kind of reach it if you just increase the accuracy. Then see 3.13, after running the loop around of 100 times, you are going near to the 3.14 of the pi value. Okay. I have given the references here as well. Okay, now let's go to our break and continue statement. We are just going to perform 2 labs, which are kind of easy. Now you already know that break statement was used in case statements, switch statements, and the only purpose was to avoid the remaining case statements, but it is also used in a loop. And what does it do? It breaks out of the loop, but it is used with a if condition. So if that condition becomes true, then the loop is broken. इसका मतलब ये है कि इसको हम लूप्स में भी इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। और अगर किसी लूप को बीच में रुकवाना हो, यानी कि अगर उसको पूरा ना चलने देना हो, फर्ज करें एक लूप ने 100 बार चलना है और हमें इसे बीच में रुकवाना है, तो हम एक इफ कंडीशन के थ्रू ब्रेक दे सकते हैं। ब्रेक, तो जब वो इफ कंडीशन ट्रू होगी तो वो लूप ब्रेक हो जाएगी. रिमेंबर, दिस इज ओनली with the break condition that loop can break. Otherwise, continue doesn't have that power. So let's do a lab here. Okay, how does break statement comes out of the loop? So write a program using a while loop running from 1 to 100. Stop the loop using break statement at value of 20. So let's see how the loop stops. Okay, int I is equal to 1. This is actually the loop variable while I is less than or equal to 100. That means you want to run the loop 100 times. The out value of number is, and you're just displaying the number here. If I double is equal to 20, break, and then you are incrementing the loop variable. So it will break on 20. And let's see. And at the end, I have wrote the loop is broken. Outside the loop is broken. इसका मतलब ये है कि अगर आपने लूप से निकलना हो तो आप ब्रेक स्टेटमेंट लगा सकते हैं एक इफ कंडीशन के साथ. और देखिए यहाँ पे ये लूप कुछ भी नहीं कर रहा, सिर्फ डिस्प्ले कर रहा है आई की वैल्यू. तो आई की वैल्यू 1 से लेके 100 तक है. लेकिन हमने इसको कहा है कि जब आई की वैल्यू 20 हो जाए, इफ के थ्रू, इफ आई बिकम्स 20 डबल इक्वल टू 20, ब्रेक. तो इसी वजह से ये 20 पर ही रुक जाएगा. ऐसा नहीं है, इट्स नॉट लाइक कंटिन्यू. इन कंटिन्यू it goes to the next iteration, but in break the loop is broken. The loop will not run further and it will stop. So this is how you can break a loop. These questions are usually in MCQs, you break or continue statements. I mean, you really don't have a example or a question regarding continue and break statement. Most of the time, the only confusion is there that students sometimes think that continuous is actually breaking the loop. Okay. Now, continue statement is also used inside loops, and it is used for skipping the loop at that iteration. Let's perform a lab on it. Write a program using for loop to display numbers from 0 to 50. And use the continue statement at 30. So you would see that what does a continue statement does. So for int I is equal to 0, start from 0. Do not run it 50 times, just run it 10 times. I just a bit difficult to see. We are just running it 10 times. And let's say, okay, if I doubles equal to 8, continue, and then display the answer. Okay. And why is this so? Okay. You would see that what does a continue does. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it skipped 8. You see there is no 8. इसने 8 को skip कर दिया. अब ये बात याद रखिए कि कंटिन्यू लूप को ब्रेक नहीं कर सकता, ये सिर्फ उस पार्टिकुलर इटरेशन को स्किप करेगा और दूसरी इटरेशन पे जाएगा. तो अक्सर स्टूडेंट्स इसमें कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं. वो समझते हैं कि कंटिन्यू भी ब्रेक कर रहा है. कंटिन्यू ब्रेक नहीं करता, उस एक iteration को skip कर देता है. And now for example you want to skip two parts, then you just write two if conditions. Let's say if I doubles equal to 9, continue. So now you are going to skip two numbers 8 and 9 of the display. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is missing, and then 10. You see, our continue statement can only skip a certain step of the loop. And remember, it only works with if conditions inside a loop. Similarly, break also works with if condition inside a loop. Okay, now let's go to our do while. Do while is short, not that much long. Now we already have talked about for loop and while loop. do while loop is just like while loop, but the difference is that the thing is done first do and then while. So even if the condition is false, it will still run at least one time. The reason that I'm not explaining it much because I know that you guys have already done it even your theory class. Okay. Now display integers from 1 to 10 using do while loop. Okay. So let's kind of, okay, now let's see here. I have declared a variable I is equal to 1. Okay. And I'm saying here, let's say do. That means, if you look at the English word do means do something. See out, I just display the value of the variable and then increment it. And here, after displaying it, then check the condition while I is less than or equal to 10. Okay. That means run up to 10. इसका मतलब ये है कि कर करेगा पहले और देखेगा बाद में। अगर ये कंडीशन यानी कि फर्ज करे यहाँ पे आई की वैल्यू 1 है और यहाँ पर दूसरी इटरेशन में 2 होगी, तो अगर इसकी वैल्यू 1 से कम है यानी कि यहाँ पे मैंने 0 कर दिया है तो ये कंडीशन पहले चले इसको रन करते हैं and see you are getting the values from 1 to 10. Why? Because the condition is true. First time I is 1, the next time it will become 2, then 3, and so on. And you are asking it till it becomes equal to 10. Okay, now let's say if I am saying I less than equal to 0. Now this condition cannot be true. Why? Because I is 1 and you are incrementing it and you are saying while I is less than equal to 0, it cannot be equal to 0. It's already 1 and in the next time it will be 2. So this condition is false and our loop will not run. But because of the syntax it will run one time. अब ये कंडीशन गलत है लेकिन ये सिर्फ एक बार फिर भी रन होगा. देखिए 1 is displayed here. अगर ये if it was a while loop it would not run even one time. But because it's a do while loop it will still run one time because of the uh, because the thing is done first and then the condition is checked. And that is if you see the while condition inside the parenthesis is always confusing students. So even for decrementing, for incrementing, that's why people always prefer for loop. Even in my personal opinion, I like for loops more better than while loops. Okay. Now let's do another lab task. You can do this lab task with for loop as well. It's very easy lab task, but I was unable to find any lab task related to do while loop, so I am doing this with a do while loop. Now this lab task says that ask the user for any integer and you are going to display the table of that integer. For example, if the user enters 2, then you are going to display the table of 2. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, that table. Okay. And we are going to perform that with a do while loop. You can also do that with a for loop. It's very easy. Let's do it with a do while loop. So let's declare a variable integer a and ask the user enter any number. That number would be stored in the variable a. And now starting from 1, int I is equal to 1. This is the variable for the loop. Do. What should we do? See out a. So a will be displayed. What is a? Whatever the user entered. Let's say if he entered 2, 2. Then this is now a text into I. Now I is actually 1. Okay. 2 into 1 and then equal to as a text. And then here the answer will be displayed. So here you are asking the compiler to multiply a with I. 2 into 1. So the answer would be displayed. End line. So the line will be ended. I plus plus. Then I will become 2. And here the condition is to run up till 10 times. Then when I becomes 2, then 2 into 2. Then when I becomes 3 up to I becomes 10. Let's run it. Let's say enter any number. I want the table of 2. See, up to 10. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, yes. 2 tens are 20. I enter 2 and it gives me the table of 2. Similarly, if I change the condition to 20, then the loop will run from 1 to 20. See, let's say I enter 9. See, where is the table going? Not up to 9 tens are 90, but up to 9 20s are 180. Because here I am telling it to run up to 20 times. ये समझ आ गई?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you want to practice, then perform this table on a for loop.
Already we performed this one in a
You
short
already have
class.
performed this on there. Okay, then that's very good. Okay. Any questions?
Ma'am,
Uh, yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum